Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Rebecca, and in today's video I'm going to show you some quick tips about Dext Prepare. So if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper that's currently using Dext Prepare, then you might find this quite useful. So these are just some time-saving tips that I've put into place in my own practice. So if you jump into a client, this is what you'll see. So if there's any items to be analysed, they're going to show in inbox here and ready to be analysed. Now, what I want to show you is if we go ahead and go down to suppliers here, and we've got our list of suppliers in use, what we can do is we can actually click into the supplier themselves. And under description here, we can type a description. So I do this at the front of every single supplier because I like to see what the supplier is basically on every description, so that I don't have to filter in Xero or find any additional fields to add into a report, basically, if I want to find out what that relates to. So here, if you just type in, like monthly subscription, then next time, if you just go back to all suppliers like this, that is going to come up on the invoice description. So instead of somebody manually typing it out every single time, you've just got this data here, just like that. So there's a couple of other things in here that I would change, and that's the tax rate. So 20% VAT on expenses relates to this particular supplier and this subscription. And in terms of category here, you can choose where this goes to, so what default nominal this is posted to. And you can change that on an invoice by invoice basis, of course. But if I just type in subscription here, it'll come up with subscriptions 0%. Now that actually needs to be changed, so they shouldn't say subscription 0%, or maybe we should have another nominal that says subscriptions 20% or something like that. But anyway, then if I go back to here, that will automatically save, so you don't need to click save or anything in here. The other thing I would do is go to payment method. So if usually this is paid out of the Starling business account, then I would put that in there. But if your client is using a different bank account, it goes through the bank or it's paid by cash, etc., I would put that there as a default so that everybody knows, and it just sort of helps with the reconciliation process. So you can do that across the board, and you can also click on supplier duplicates here, and it'll tell you if there's been any duplicates, of which there hasn't been. So I would literally go down every single one of these and enter in the category that it relates to and add a short description, so that next time you don't have to pop that in and it'll just come up. So I would do it like this, and then in the invoice I'd add any further details in there. Here I'm going to post that to 325 normally, and the payment method is usually the bank. So go back and just keep doing that. And you can even auto-publish certain items. So this Ionos, I would auto-publish this because that never changes. So it's a set amount every month. The invoice that is received doesn't change at all. So I would just ask Dext Prepare to put that description next to it, post it to that place, post it with that particular VAT rate. And yes, it'll just automatically go into Xero, so that there's nothing here that we need to do necessarily. So I just spend a little bit of time in this area just going through and updating these here so that it comes through automatically for you in future. Now the other thing you can do is if you go to connections here and you go to costs, so there's this invoice fetch system. So what you can actually do is you can link this to various different online connections. So if I go to add connection here, I can choose from a list of recommended, full list, or popular, search for a supplier. So let's just say, let's find Travis Perkins, just because I know that they're on here. We select the client here and we go to connect or ask the client to connect. So this will then bring up Travis Perkins, and you would pop in your username, password, etc., and ask this to upload invoices from a certain date onwards or the entire available history. So I'm going to cancel that because we're not going to do it, but it's as simple as that. So going forward, this is then going to bring through those documents, and you can ask it to bring those through. So if you go to manage and you go to force document fetch, or it will just fetch the documents automatically for you. So they will then go into costs up here under ready, as long as you don't have another rule set up under supplies for them to be posted directly. So you can then analyse those. But what it means is that you and your client don't have to manually import these invoices. They will automatically go into Dext, so you don't have to scan them. So I would go through and see if there are any other connections that you can link in here, which is going to save you a heck of a lot of time, and it really, really has made a huge difference in my business. So yeah, just a couple of tips. There's plenty more that I can share on here, but I would recommend you doing those first of all, just to save yourself, an hour or so every time that you're doing this. So if you did like today's video, then please do give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing because, as always, it really does help the channel to grow. And other than that, I will catch you on the next video.